and paper reader merge together? Well, thanks to Billy, it's safe to say I I am Night Fighter. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This your boy King Gabe here. I'm saying I finally got the rough draft done. I actually I did intend to do some update videos as I was kind of getting. I know I did a first update, obviously, while back when I first started writing this. Then changes got made, and I'm trying to think. What? Let's see. Let me bring that up. When did I make that first update of that? Ooh, Lord Jesus, because I've been away from this due to other things that were going on, mostly like with the channel and stuff, and that's one reason I took that hiatus last month to finally sit down and get this done there, along with some other stuff that was going on too. Let's see. Um, oh boy, 3 months ago. 3 months ago. So it made me think of Vivian right now. Let's see. Okay, so the first update was done last year in November. So yeah, it's been not as long as I thought it was, but it was a while back there. It's right here. Yeah, that was the first update. So yeah, let me turn the sound down so I won't, just in case it rings or something. Let's see. What's got it? Oh, that. Yeah, reaction stories, of course. But so yeah, like I say, November. That was when the first update was done. So now my I was intending to, like I say, do another update. I've mentioned about this, but I intend to do like a full on second update earlier before I finished the rough draft. But again, like I say, other things going on, especially with the holidays, and things related to the holidays I was doing, especially here on the channel. And then on top of that, yeah, so I took the hiatus next month. Yeah, last month, sorry, and really buckled down on it, and I just went straight through finishing it. And I could have done something like maybe when maybe like mid January or something like that, but it's anyway, we're doing it now. And we're doing it now. So yeah, so that's what we're here for. The rough draft is complete, but as I need to before I print it out to be proofread. I do proofread that way. Try to get it out. We're not too much longer from spring. That's when it's supposed to be released in the springtime. That's spring begins next month. After we get the last bit of this winter out. So more than likely, I'm not. Now I'm not going to say exactly in March, but like I say, more than likely, at least if not earlier, no later than May of which would be a couple months away from now. It should be released, which will still be springtime because the last month of spring, but it still counts. And then, like I said, May, but it could be earlier. All depends on the proofing process and everything. Um, like I said, we know Bubblina is the novels available. Got to order some copies on hand soon there, but it is available. So you guys can still put in orders for Bubblina novel, the first novel of Bubblina, along with our other books. So y'all can still do that. So that way, like I say, takes a few other things got to take care of personal wise. And then, like I say, we should be able to order some on hand copies from the folks around here, locally, but also for you guys too. Just put in them orders and you can get some too. So, like I say, um, so yeah, we'll have that. We'll be taking care of that. It was, like I say, it actually was made available on Valentine's Day, like we said. We were gonna mention. I intended for me and Christina to mention that during our live stream on Valentine's Day, but we forgot to say it. But it is we did keep our word with Valentine's Day. We just forgot to say something. I guess you could say um, we were so into the romantic moment of so you're so beautiful. Oh, Gabe. Oh, Christina. Oh, Gabe. Oh, Christina. I guess we were so into each other that we forgot. So, anyway, but it's out there. And this will be soon. Like I say, but, yep, read over this rough draft here. And like I say, directly after that, we'll be going into the first Star Striker, Supreme Star Striker, working on it. So it can be available for the summer. I'm probably gonna try to start working on it while this one's being proofread there to get an early start on it. And I also want to definitely give you a second some more episodes of the Superman fan fiction. If not if not now, probably somewhere between March and the release of the Supreme Star Striker first novel. So, superheroes, yeah. So yeah, it'd be kind of tie in with that there. So yeah, well, that's gonna so yeah, like I say, so yeah, that'll be coming up, and like I say, hopefully, like I say, hopefully live streams like especially the Bible reading will definitely do a lot better than I did last Sunday when I tried to come back. Yeah, I read a couple of chapters, but yeah, I need to do better. So yeah, we're gonna try. We're gonna definitely do better with the Bible live streams, as well as also the weekly update. Well, monthly update. Sorry. So yeah, so yeah, because it's coming up to the beginning of March, so the next month the update will be coming up to pretty much fill you guys in. It's like, well, you gotta fill us in on info now, but hey, there's gonna be some different stuff coming up for March there. So yeah, and we do have Sierra Force is available. Sierra Force is available on Patreon right now. I haven't. I'm not gonna say when I'm dropping it on YouTube because it's actually part one of the review. We're gonna do a part two of the review. Part one, which is me and Christina. So part two, once after this weekend, 20 after the 22nd, pretty much after this coming Sunday, we're gonna plot out a part two where EJ can give his 2 cents on it, and like I say, if things work out, we should be able to get the other girls in on it, Casey and Janara, if it works out. I'm pretty sure it would, hoping that it does, but like I say, we got to see. But we're definitely gonna get EJ in on it. That's for sure because I mean he is the GOAT for Power Rangers, so he is not he don't want to miss out on this. So yeah, he's gonna be on part two, and we're also gonna be doing gonna be talking about the play that he was in too. He'll be giving us. We'll be having a special video on that as well. So yeah, that's gonna be coming up for the future there. And like I say, probably some point after making those videos, at some point I will drop part one, and shortly after that, part two of the Sierra Force review, and also EJ talking about his play and everything. And probably some other videos will be coming as well. Yeah, especially I want to definitely get back on Yu-Gi-Oh manga reading. So yeah, other videos, and also more stuff with the books like Bubblina, Yumeko, and so on and so on. So that's coming up. Now let's get into this. We're gonna. It's a surprise live stream. So I wanted to go on and do it today. I would have, like, well, why didn't you just wait till Saturday? I got something planned for Saturday, so yeah, I want to go and take care of this now. They go and get it printed out, it needs to go on and get proofread so it can be released and everything. Um, and as well as like I said, also so yeah, also something else I was supposed to say. That'll probably come to me later. Anyway, all right. So Yumeko, book four, or the novel four. It's called. So I think in most of my in my previous because in my previous ones I do say like the last one, Yumeko novel three, uh, sort of the backdoor pilot for the upcoming Supreme Star Trekker series. Um, but then I got on here book three on the inside, so pretty much keeping how I got things in my previous books there. So yep. Hold on a second. Mark Hamill or Heath Ledger. Oh my god. Like for some. Oh yeah, about the this video EJ mentioned about the truth hurts. Truth hurt, and I made a comment on it. Said I'm imagining Mark Hamill or Heath Ledger saying those lines. Yeah, go check. Yeah, after this, definitely go check out the one EJ has for the Truth Hurt short. Yeah, and also some other shorts he's been doing too. Yeah, um, he's been on a creative bend. I guess technically, you notice I've been popping out quite a bit of shorts lately there. So especially toy quickies there. So all right, and also stuff concerning about the play after we went to see it too. Yeah. So all right, and hopefully this becomes just like we had the play reading of of what a play reading version that was supposed to be like 10 minutes there. Hopefully things like everything works out. We'll be able to get another version of this that's a little longer than 10 minutes there. So to kind of give more detail there. So hopefully that works out and everything. Brownie's Rescue Mission on Uranus, Yumeko Book 4 by yours truly, Gabriel Kincaid Johnson. Yes, the one and only who writes this Miracle Universe, the Miracle Productions, and also the leader of the Miracle Crew and everything. Yes. Sometimes I just go into voices like that. Okay, so. All right, let's see. So, let me get through this here. Okay, back in March 25th, 1991, at the South Valley High School. That's what Brownie went to back. That's the high school Brownie went to. Said March 25th, 1991. Brownie is really excited as he enters his homeroom and sits down with Dashdale, Gerald, and Billy. They greet each other. I can't wait to get out of school Thursday. What's up, EJ? Watching a little bit on work, huh? I bet there's some of your work buddies kind of looking in on it too. Some of the like, hey EJ, what you looking at there? Yeah, I can see that there. And that's why I had this phone turned off there. It's already vibrating. Okay, please silence your phone. So, okay, so have to look back at this. By the way, this is the computer I'm reading from. By the way, the computer that Casey gave me there for Christmas. So, yeah, it's one advantage of having these two laptops. I can check stuff out on the screen. What you got now? I don't have to worry about having a split screen on one laptop. So, yes. Okay, so they greet each other. Brownie says, I can't wait to get out of school Thursday. Wait, I can't. School Thursday. Same here, said Dashdale. We got the Easter weekend to kick off an awesome spring break. Like, spring break vacation. There's gonna be a Squirrel Avenger marathon of the best season one episodes Friday night, leading to the season one finale and the premiere of season two Saturday morning. Remember those days? Yeah, I'll be catching up on the episode. Before the streaming platforms all we had was the TV. And the VHSs we recorded it on, if we were lucky to have that there. And like you say, now we did have like now early internet. Let's see, it's 1991. As time went on, early internet would have websites, sort of like Author does from PBS. Visit us online at pbskids.org or America Online, keyword PBS Kids. You can find author books and lots of other books too at your local library. So yeah, you would be lucky to see stuff on the show, but not exactly like actually watch the episodes like the way we do now with streaming. Clips of it, but not the episode. When we got to like early 2000, that's when we got access to seeing clips. I remember seeing clips of Metabots there. But I still had to watch the episode though. But that made you want to okay, I need to see this next episode. Then they had I think I want to say they had clips of the Yu-Gi-Oh episodes on the website. Metabots, Yu-Gi-Oh, and I think maybe there was another show I want to say. I know when Yu-Gi-Oh was out at that time. Me and Case were watching that along with other stuff while also role playing it too. So, we had those days there. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so going on the camping trip. Then we'll all go on the camping trip with my parents in Elmer City, said Billy. And after that, added Gerald, we'll have our first band gig, performing live on Friday night to the max at the Barnhart Broadcasting Company, also known as the BBC. All thanks to my grandpa for helping us get it. Yeah. And that means we'll be meeting the host, Max Stripes, in person. which is a zebra, by the way. Get it? Stripes. Yeah. And most importantly, Sunday will be the Easter play at church, said Brownie. I can't believe I'm going to play the role of Jesus for the first time. Plus, after the play will be my birthday celebration and Easter dinner. Man, I'm excited. Yep. So Brownie gets to play. So they have an Easter play. So 1991's Easter play at Brownie's church. He played the role of Jesus, kind of like I did in 2003. I used to play in that year back at New Bethlehem, and had even had some praise dancers to do a performance. He has risen. Why are you weeping? He's not dead. Yep. Ooh boy, that's my jam. That's my Easter jam, man. Which technically you could listen to that. You could listen to any gospel song anytime you want, to be honest. Even Mary, did you know? But that's a Christmas song. I'm still, if I want to, I will listen to it. So, but like I say, it does, but it has more. It feels impact. You feel more of an impact around these particular times there. Yeah, it's not saying you can't listen to them outside of them, but yeah, it's that feeling. Yes, but trust me, them songs give you some really good feelings. Wipe your eyes. Do. Ooh. Now you talking about some epic gospel song, man. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, thank you, Jesus. and and then I showed up in my Jesus costume there. Do. In the right standing in the center of the praise dancers there. Man, that was a good performance there. Good times, good times. So yeah, so that's what that was a reference to. When Brownie mentioned that was a reference to when the first time I actually got to play Jesus in the Easter play there, because most of the time at in the church plays, I would always be cast as the angel Gabriel because my name is Gabriel. I'm not saying anything against the angel Gabriel, but I'm like, okay, so I played it this year. Okay, can I play a different role next year? This year, just kind of mix it up a little bit. Just like him. I played the angel Gabriel again. Oh boy. So So they have a teacher named Marty Martins, which is a reference to a talking parrot I had once. Anybody know what I'm talking about? It was this electronic. My phone went out for a second. I was like, don't. As Popeye say, don't fail me now. Hello. Let's see, talking parrot toy. Parrot toy, yeah. Toy. There it is. There it is. There it is. Pete the talking parrot. So he actually did have a name, I guess, but of course I called him something else there. There he is. That pretty much is what he would look like there. Maybe a few different features on one in this picture, but that's the toy, that's the parrot I had. So that's what I based Brownie's teacher off of. Pretty much an anthropomorphic parrot that looks similar to this. And he's called Marty Martins. Originally, I named the parrot that I had Smarty the parrot there. So yeah, he was. But yeah, that's. So then I said, well, I'm gonna call him Marty Martins there. Yeah, kind of rhyme with Smarty. Sort of like how I have a character in the first Yumeko book called Barry Barron. Barry Barron, Barry. But originally, when I was a kid, he was just Barry, like the word bear with a Y on it. Pretty clever, huh? So, yeah, so the teacher comes in. He got two new students with him. Got two new students. One of them is a light brown rabbit, and the other's a pink pig. All anthropomorphic, by the way. They say good morning. Before the announcement, he mentions about the two new students he's got. The rabbit is named Francine Fluffles, and the pig is named Jaleisha Jenkins. Now they will be coming. They will be making appearances in other books of the Yumeko series. Just letting you know. Francine Fluffles. That last name sound familiar. Fluffles. Remember in the first book, when Brownie was first introduced, along with his friends at the firehouse, he had there's a Mr. Fluffles. They also call him Sensei. Frederick Fluffles, their mentor and everything. This is his adoptive daughter. Actually, this idea came from Casey because there was I can't think what it was. It was a birthday or Christmas, but I had a rabbit. I had a rabbit there, and I had decided to. I was putting together. I think it was a Christmas gift because I think it was a Christmas gift, and I was kind of putting together some, just like a variety of different things in her gift and everything. Because sometimes, and something she does this, and sometimes, when me and Case were growing up, we would get each other gifts there. Sometimes the gifts would be like a variety of things that we get each other. So, that's what I was kind of putting together. That you're not sure which year it was, but one of the things I put in there was a little plush rabbit, and when she got it, um, she then came up with an idea like, I think this would be Mr. Fluffle's adoptive daughter. So that's how that came. Named her Francine there. So this is now her first appearance in this little flashback here of them in high school. Um, Along with another character, Jaleisha Jenkins, which is a pink pig. Um, that this edition was actually done. One of our church members, um, one of our church members that we talk to a lot, KK. Um, she once asked me and Christina about would we ever put like a pig, like a character that's a pig in any of our stories, because she saw like the animals in Yumeko, like you had Brownie, he's a dog, you got Dashtail's a squirrel, Gerald the gator. She said, would you ever have any pig characters? Um, I actually do have another pig character in planned in there. He hasn't appeared yet, but there is another pig character that's appearing later. But I decided to add another one with Jaleisha Jenkins here that kind of would hang around with Brownie and his friends there. So we got Francine and Jaleisha. They get ready to introduce themselves. Jaleisha is actually kind of shy, and she's like, "Well, he wants Francine to go first." Sort of makes me think of how Julie was when she introduced herself in Heroes of Dreams. There to the when she first started school. Francine, she starts to just as she started to talk. Dashdale starts flirting with her. Yeah, you pretty much can get a read on Dashdale's character, a little more Dashdale's character. Um, Actually gets about his feet, races toward Francine. Uh, he even kisses her hand, showing off poses and stuff like that. Teacher's like, get back to your seat, Dashdale. Let Miss Fluffles finish. But, yeah, so Francine continues. She mentions about that she moved here with her dad, Mr. Fluffles, of course, her adoptive dad. And there you go. She is adopted. Um, because he was. This is when he was transferred from a fire station in Webster City, and now they're here in Barnhart. So this is when Mr. Fluffles first arrived in Barnhart as well. Uh, Dashdale interrupts again. He's like, I was thinking of being a firefighter. I'll be the first to come to your rescue. Mr. F, like, and Martin's like, Mr. Evans, go back to your seat and sit down now. Oh boy. I had to teach. This is actually that the way Mr. Martins was getting on Dashdale's cases, just like my science teacher back in my freshman year. Um, and I'm not making fun of the guy. I'm not making fun of the guy because he was real nice. He's a real nice guy. The kids at night, they just gave him such a hard time there. They would always be rowdy in the class, and I was the only. And I'm not kidding when I say that I was practically the only one in the class actually just behaving and trying to do his work. Now, I will admit I didn't do so well, in the science class as far as my grades and stuff. But because I had such good behavior and I was really, trying to, really like taking notes and stuff like that, and really trying to grasp the subject, but just having a little trouble with it. He really, like I said, he was real nice, and he really helped me out to understand a lot of the information there, and like I say, I didn't exactly come out with a A++ in science class, but I was able to pass the class uh, with some at least go from at least come up to a passing grade like a C's and stuff like that. So that was my weakest subject, but like I say, I did get help to at least get a passing grade in there. And like I say, that's one to say, you do good, good things come though. Yeah, but he's always trying to get the class settled down. Get quiet. So Mr. Martins knows how my science teacher in ninth grade felt. Yep, even though this taking place before, because when I was in ninth grade, it was 2002 to 2003. This is from 1990. This is a flashback from 1991. So that Francine tries again. She mentions that she's into sports. This Casey also put this into the character sports, and one of her favorites is basketball. And Dashtail, oh boy, yeah, he can't keep his mouth. Dashtail pretty much turned into Donkey from Shrek right now. Cause I'm all alone, there's no one here beside me. But you gotta have free stuff with the singing. It's no wonder you don't have any friends. So, yeah, he's trying once more. But Mr. Martin said, if you interrupt Miss Fluffles one more time, you'll be standing in the hall today. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Just, oh, boy, Dashtail. Yeah, now he's trying to suck up the teacher. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Sergeant Martin, I copy that loud and clear. I am ready to take affirmative action from my duty to keep quiet from Miss Francine Fluffles. You can count on me to, and this time the whole class, this time the whole class tells her, be quiet, Dashtail. He gets quiet, but he does an eye wink and two thumbs up before he sits down. Boy. I had a friend. I also had a friend like Dashtail. I ain't gonna lie. I had a friend of mine like Dashtail who, yeah, was a major big flirter, and yeah, one time he said, "I'm a bad boy." So, okay, so anyway, Francine finishes what she has to say. She wants to pursue a sport career, become a firefighter. Um, well, she's not really sure which one she wants to do just yet, but we can pretty much guess what's going to happen there. Um, so, but she's trying to decide between a sport career or becoming a firefighter. And she's kind of hoping she makes the best decision there. Okay. So, so after that, they hear from Jaleisha. Only thing she says is that her and her parents have moved here from North City in the Majiran region. So she's so she not only just from a different city, but from another region outside of the region here that everybody's been established in at the beginning of the series. If Just in case you didn't know, uh, Yumeko novel 2 mentions that the region that like we're in Barnhart City. This is where Brownie and his friends, this is their home. The region that Barnhart City is part of the Douglas region. And then we have other regions, like they just mentioned, the Majiran region. Then you have the Duncan region and also the Johnson region. I think there's going to be there might possibly be some other regions that might get mentioned, but these are the 4 so far that I know are present. But there's going to actually be some more on North City in that Majiran region coming up soon. Jaleisha doesn't say any more due to her shyness there, but yeah, a little foreshadowing here. Or as they say, let me make sure I'm using this right here. sure. Exposition. Literally a synonym. Okay, so exposition is a comprehensive description and explanation of an ideal or theory. Also, definition number two, a large public exposition of art or trade goods. So I'm going to go with the first definition. Um, the reason I brought that up because I was thinking of the SpongeBob episode where he said, "Mr. Krabs, you're home early from your vacation." Exposition. When he did his hands, sort of like the way he did his hands for the rainbow when he said, "Imagination." Are you saying I have no imagination? So, yeah, but in this case, he said exposition there. So, all right. Right. Hang on just one second. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Hate when this happens, yeah. Okay. Just to clarify, I do not have a cold. It's just my nose was just right at there. But I don't like to do that I don't like to wipe on screen there. So yeah. Anyway, back to what I was doing. So at least that's all she has. South Valley. Welcome to school. Now we at chapter 2. So chapter 2, they get Dashtail, Gerald, and Billy and Brownie. They all get to know. The four of them get to know Francine a little more about Francine. Jaleisha, she's kind of hanging with them, mostly because of Francine, kind of, the girls. But they do get a little. She kind of speaks a little bit there. So yeah, like I said, there's gonna be some more on these two as the series goes on, along with the other characters as well. I'm trying to get around to each of the characters. Like so far, book number 1, I kind of gave a general introduction of everybody, and mostly it did. Oh, like you did get Hiko and Samuel, but then there was also like Brownie and his friends there, sort of from his angle with the rescue and everything. And then book number 2, you sort of had where Hiko first became hero to save his grandparents. Then book number 3 sort of made a backdoor pilot for the Supreme Star Striker, the EJ Star Striker. So now I'm trying to really get. So after the first 3 books, I'm really trying to get around sort of like focus stories, but still continue the series. Progress the ongoing story while at the same time, really getting around to everybody and how and whatnot there. So and still keeping with consistency of the passage of time too. This one really focused with Brownie because of whole flashbacks, or like the Captain America movie in the MCU, the first Avenger. So yeah, and I got plans with the other books. I ain't gonna tell them to you yet, but yeah, like I said, I'm trying to get around all the characters, and as I said, we will hear more about Jaleisha and Francine as well as the other characters. So Jaleisha does. They got to know more about Francine. Jaleisha speaks a little bit, but she's kind of, but she's still kind of on the shy side, and a little nervous to say much of anything, and sort of at the moment, at this point, back in high school, and we'll hear about how she is, in the current day. Just to let you know, the current from Yumeko novel 1, the very first book, when this whole series began, it actually starts in 1996. So this is going back 5 years for this book, for this flashback here. So yeah, we'll know how Jaleisha is at this point, as well as Francine too. She sort of distanced herself from everybody, but try to even when they try to like, hey, let's hang out sometime there. So Francine mentions about the Junior Firefighters Program, another foreshadowing to what happens in the current time, 5 years later in 1996. So the Junior Fighters Program is for teenagers who want to train early and become firefighters after they graduated. Of course, Brownie, Dashdale, Gerald, and Billy are all interested, and they sign up there. Francine signs up as well, so that's the yeah. So she will return. Like, well, Gabe, if she signed up, how come we didn't see her at the firehouse with the others that we saw in Yumeko 1? We'll find out. Say, patience, my little grasshopper. so then they have the boys. They all gather at Brownie's house for the sleepover to watch the Squirrel Avenger marathon. They did invite Francine, but she told them that she told them like, well, I would, but I'm kind of having a girls only thing with Jaleisha at my house there to kind of help her open up a little more, a little slumber party there. So okay, so pretty much with the Squirrel Avenger thing, it's all the guys, obviously. And so guess they'll do something, later in the future. Uh, so just as the marathon is about to start, Dashdale shows up dressed up like the Squirrel Avenger, in his Squirrel Avenger costume, sort of like what they mentioned. Remember Brownie done mentioned that Dashdale would do this, and he tries to talk like the Squirrel Avenger. Um, the How I imagine the Squirrel Avenger, like I don't have no picture of him right at the moment or anything, but how I imagine the Squirrel Avenger's character. In the third book, he's described as he's not, he's supposed to be bring up, let's see, Gerald mentioned about this. I think it was either Brownie or Gerald that mentioned it. Let's see. Let's see right here. Okay, where did I? Okay, so so in Yumeko 3, Dashdale was going on about the Squirrel Avenger, talking about how he, as a Squirrel Avenger, fought alongside the grand superheroes of the Johnson region: Ultra Cat, Thor the Thunder Rabbit, Aqua Pig, and Food Cat and Food Bear. Pretty much like their version of the DC characters like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman, like the Super Friends kind of. So you know how author they even have their own version of Batman and Superman with Bionic Bunny and Dark Bunny. So yeah, they say so they mentioned oh yeah. That's why Gerald mentioned he said the show the Squirrel Avengers TV show is actually meant to be a light-hearted parody of superheroes. So they're sort of this is actually their version of Darkwing Duck. Like, let's get dangerous, Darkwing Duck. When there's trouble, you call DW. Darkwing Duck. So yeah, the Daring Duck of Mystery, the terror that flaps in the night. um, and I remember one of the lines he said in the DuckTales reboot, "I am the I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the overstuffed burrito that spills onto the lap of cry. I am Darkwing Duck. Dun 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 dun. No, I am." So that line was actually said by the actor Jim Cummings at a Comic Con once there. So they took that and put that in the reboot there. So anyway, the Squirrel Avenger, Dashdale's all dressed up like he say, "Time to watch my greatest battles and fight against the forces of evil." Like Dashdale, I'm not Dashdale, I'm the Squirrel Avenger. And now I will go Now I will go to my Avenger tree base at super speed and scream in frustration. I'm back. So sort of make there was a little joke from Big Bang Theory when Sheldon was dressed as the Flash. It's like, relax, Sheldon. I'm not Sheldon. I'm the Flash. Now I'll run to the Grand Canyon and scream in frustration. I'm back. And funny thing, we actually did get to see a scene of him running at super speed. when Leonard turned, he said, I'm going to turn this thermostat up a little bit. Good Lord, how you frustrate me, Leonard! Okay, so, oh boy, so just as they're about to start the marathon, an interruption comes on, and we interrupt this for a breaking news report. How dare they interrupt the start of my heroic adventure as the Squirrel Avenger? You're not the Squirrel Avenger. as sort of like what Emily said in one of the shorts on my channel when Dashta was introducing himself, and also known as the Squirrel Avenger. You're not the Squirrel Avenger. Beep. So apparently, the news report gets to play. Is revealed a rooster adjusting his camera, wearing a silver suit and a cloak with a hood and a metallic silver rooster skull mask. I know if any of y'all seen like any of my Yumeko novel 4 promo shorts, you notice the skull didn't exactly look rooster-like. I did put in there rooster skull mask, but it didn't really come out like that. So I ended up coming up with a silver Skeletor. I am Skeletor, Overlord of Evil. Have you the slightest inkling of whom you speak? Or the funniest thing what he said in the Chippendale movie when him and He-Man were at a booth signing autographs, and Chippendale ran under the table. He-Man, there's something down there. Oh please, there's nothing down there. It's like you run around here not wearing any pants, and then you thought to be left please. Oh boy. So anyway, he has his assistant giving him some tips. They're hidden in the shadows, so we don't know who this assistant is. Will we find out who this assistant is? I don't know. we just have to find out. Ooh. So anyway, giving them some tips. Like, you need to press record. Okay. Now mash it and mash it again. Okay. Now mash it again. Please stand by. Screen comes up. That little part right there about the master record button was actually from a V8. The first time that my mom ever used a video camera she was filming. I think she got the camera from a neighbor or something like that, and that's what they were instructing her like how to I guess turn it on and off and record and stuff. So that was a short scene at the beginning of the first video she recorded, which was my baptism. You need to press record again. I'm actually again. Then the next scene was me eating cornflakes, and then we got to the church for my baptism. Man, 5 years old, by the way. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then, like I say, you press. Oh yeah. So after that, say mash again. And Dash was like, "Well, they hurry up! I'm missing the very first episode." So then he comes back on. Like, is this thing on? It is. Oh. That's another that little one was another reference from a Darkwing Duck scene with Steelbeak. This is actually who I imagine this character with the rooster mask. He's gonna go by the identity of the Bantam of the master, of the Bantam Master. Sorry, the Bantam Master. But he does have another name that he's gonna be going by in the finale of the book there. But what I imagine his voice being like, I imagine it being somewhat like Steelbeat from Darkwing Duck, kind of like that voice. Hey, is this thing on? Like, oh, and welcome to How to Cook Up a Crisis. Oh, yeah. So, so this is how. So as he, that's just like, when you get on with it, you bonehead, bonehead. So, fix that a little bit here. Mhm. So so the rooster starts. He's like, hello everyone. How y'all doing tonight? I'm assuming you answered. He paused for a moment. Anyway, for legal purposes, I'm keeping my identity a mystery. Like, then he pauses again for dramatic effect. Anyway, so he resumes. Anyway, this message is for Mayor Rosefield. I bet that position is a pretty big responsibility. It sure would be a shame if while you're doing your job, some punk came along and took one of your kids. To be more specific, your precious daughter Anna. But don't worry, she's taking a little vacation about 2,870 million kilometers from into outer space, to be exact. I heard that the planet Uranus is very lovely this time of year. It's like a winter wonderland. Plenty of methane gas to breathe in. Anyway, she's gonna need a ride home. So if you just give me your position as mayor, I'll be sure to bring her back safe and sound. You got about 6 hours to reply. You better hurry, or after those 6 hours, she's gonna start running out of oxygen. So just give me a ring at 1-800-1-MASTER. Also, if you call within the next few hours or earlier, with a nice additional donation to this worthy cause, I'll be sure to give you a lovely bonus gift from. You'll be able to get a lovely bonus gift from this catalog I made. We got Uranus T-shirts and air fresheners, beanies, and my personal favorite, this adorable design Uranus snow globe. Plus, I'll even throw in my personal chicken Caesar salad and some fresh baked snickerdoodles. Ciao. like like those hotlines there. They them make them pledges at PBS. Also, the chicken Caesar salad and the snickerdoodle, which that was from the play reading when EJ read the part of the Bantam Master here. He said, "Yeah, that was definitely written with EJ in mind there because he loves snickerdoodles." And also in the early days when he was, because I know he's been busy with a lot of stuff now, but when he first started on YouTube with the live streams and stuff, a lot of times he'd be eating on the stream, and he a lot of time he had like salads and stuff like that. So there's a nice chicken Caesar salad there, and this fresh baked snickerdoodles from Cookie Crumble. So so of course they decide that they're going to do something about Brownie and his friends. Uh, Dashdale, of course, shows out like this is the job of the Squirrel Avenger. You're not the Squirrel Avenger, but we do need to. But we say, but however, you do have a point. We can't just sit around and do nothing. But how are we going to get into space without a rocket? I have an idea. So, chapter 4, they get together this battle spacesuit. Brownie and Billy actually built this. Built this together. Is a with the it has fire. It has the ability to shoot out fire heat energy blasts from the hands of the suit, which also could give some burning hot punches, possible hot kicks, thrusters for flight and strength enhancements, as well as and first thing Dashdale was like, okay, well, suit me up. But there is one thing. Brownie's like, well, no, I need to go. He's like, and Dad's like, well, why can't I go? Billy explains that the suit has a special headband to link the wearer mentally with it, and it takes focus there. So Brownie has a lot better focus and concentration, and Dashdale would be a little too reckless and show off. So sort of kind of that focus thing kind of reminds me of Tommy from Power Rangers Zeo when he first got that red battle Zord. It's like, I need to clear my mind. Right. And yeah, at first he was having trouble in the battle, like, so yeah, so he had to get his mind cleared up there. And so it's so of course Brownie goes in, and also he's given Billy has taken an old fire truck that to Brownie's his from his dad, an old fire truck with some special parts from his dad to build the fire truck into a spaceship. It's a fire truck spaceship, and with the has features like missile launchers, flamethrowers, stealth mode, energy shield, and even a siren laser. Like I said, there's one thing now the spaceship that Brownie had wasn't a fire truck in the original '90s story that I submitted to the Disney writing contest. But the reason that I put a fire truck in the first place, or even Brownie associated with firefighting, because of a toy fire truck that my granny used to have at her house that me and my cousins would play with, and I always had Brownie riding on top of the fire truck. So, Brownie said, "Time to suit up." Doo 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 doo. Kind of give you some Iron Man vibes, but it's a spacesuit though. So he arrives on Uranus, looking for Anna, and you get the ice monsters. Now in the play, I had them listed as ice monster number 1, 2, and 3. Here, I gave them some names. The names are Haros, Mervos, and Veros. It's the Frost Trio. Each of their names end in os, like the word frost. So that idea, what I had in mind with with these guys, and at first I was gonna make them sort of like the Three Stooges there, but I already had characters like that in book number 3, The Supreme Star Striker. Get yourselves in, get your butts in here right now with the Three Stooges looking zells. So this one, I decided to base these ice monsters, their personalities off of the crooks from Home Alone 1 and 2, Harry and Marv, and for a third one, I threw in one of the crooks from Home Alone 4. And I know Home Alone 4 and especially 5 are not exactly the best in the franchise there. Me personally, I pretty much just stick with 1 to 3, like a trilogy. And there are some flaws with the third Home Alone 3 movie, I'll admit, but it is pretty obvious flaws there. But it is still a good movie to look at, in my opinion. There, much like the first two, and I did still enjoy it. Fourth and fifth one, not so much there. But I have seen them though. I have seen 4 and 5. Me and Christina, we've seen 4 and 5. And like I said, the fourth one, there was a female villain that was supposed to be married to the male villain, which was supposed to be a reboot of Harry from the first 2 movies. Marv. So Marv had a wife after leaving Harry, I guess, to be solo and stuff, somewhat. Yeah, so anyway, that's what it was kind of based off of there. Their personalities there. Like, yeah, my name's Heros, this is my brother Marvos, and my sister Veros. Yeah, so yeah, so there are siblings there. I'm pretty sure you get the picture, you geeks. Like, I don't care if you got. Matter of fact, they even mentioned Home Alone here because it's 1991, so Home Alone was out. Like, I don't care if you're the crooks from Home Alone. As I said before, I'm here to rescue Anna. Now release her or else. The Ice Monster's like, you really wanna rescue the little lady? Then go back to Earth and ask the mayor to surrender his position to our boss. So what's it gonna be? Fight us or surrender? Make your choice, little puppy. You just made 3 mistakes. Oh yeah? Like, and what are they, tough guy? First mistake was challenging me. Second, the mayor would never surrender to the likes of you. And the third mistake, don't ever call me a little puppy. And Brownie blasted Ross with the heat energy blast, sending him flying blast, and then they started going at it. Yeah. And a little something I added, a fairy in a spacesuit pops up. The spacesuit designed like a wrestling announcer design, along with an audience of cheering snowmen and snow women. And music starts playing, so like what you hear, the wrestling theme, dun 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 dun, along with the audience of cheering snowmen and snow women. They're magically poofed into a wrestling ring. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Uranus Super Smash Slamming Smackdown. Who are you? And this fairy is Flora. Yeah, so this is Flora's. This is when Brownie first met Flora. Yeah, so yeah, now this also answers that question. So he met Flora back in '91 while he was still in high school. And like, well, how old is Flora? In '96, '96 when the Yumeko series starts, Flora, wait, I'm making sure I got this right. She's actually 8 at the beginning of the series. Hiko is 8 years old, and Samuel is actually 7, but he's about to turn 8 when July comes. So July of '96. So where the series starts is actually at the beginning of the summer vacation, which obviously would be June. Would be June or possible or some, either June or right after Memorial Day. But anyway, yeah, he hasn't turned. It's just like EJ's birthday is in July, so matter of fact, right near the 4th, pretty much, when the Superman movie came out last year. Dun, dun. So yeah, that's another little thing I did with some of the people that with the personalities and stuff, because it kind of gave me an idea of when to put their birthdays there. So yeah, but Flora is actually 8 already, and when her birthday comes in the fall in September of '96, she'll be turning 9. So because of that, here. This is during the springtime of '91. So here, 5 years ago, she's actually 3 years old and about to turn 4 when the fall comes. So she's a 3-year-old fairy just hanging around here. I've actually looked up before I got the age together. I actually looked up videos of fluent speaking 3-year-olds. So. Yeah, you do have some fluent speaking 3-year-olds, and I'm pretty sure I've probably seen some in person. Now that I come to think about it, a lot of the customers that come in the store, or just in person in general when I go out or something like that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen some 3-year-olds that are like, "Hello, how are you doing? I am 3." So yeah, so I guess technically she would be speaking like this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Uranus Super Smash Slamming Smackdown Showdown to be exact. It's Brownie versus the Frost Trio. Everyone ready? Begin. And another reason I brought Flora in, making this their first time, Brownie and Flora their first meetup. In the play version of this, I just had an announcer, which, sort of a fourth wall break a little bit for the play version. So while I was writing this, I was trying to think, how would I incorporate what I did in the play into here? Possibly a slight fourth wall break, but not too obvious. Well, at first I was gonna bring a genie character, like there was gonna be just a random genie pop up, sort of like the genie from Aladdin a little bit. Because I kind of thought of how remember the scene when Jafar became a snake there, like a snake am I? Perhaps you'd like to see how snake-like I can be. And when him and Aladdin were going at it, like, stick him, rock him, back, stick the sword into the snake. You stay out of this. Jafar, he's our man. If he can't do it, great! And of course, there was like other deleted scenes. If y'all check that out, the special features, it's like when like what there was a joke where he said, push her back, Jafar, the back. Push her back, Jafar, the back. So we got a little thing right here going on there, sports fans. What do you think about this? What do you think about those Latin clips? Well, I think of Latin for this morning, but that's funny because I couldn't agree with you more, Jeff. Well, yeah, so that's what I was kind of thinking of at first. But then I thought, no, because it would be hard for it to write, because I know genies are public domain, but it'd be hard to write it without about all of a sudden, like, ooh, he's trying to make Robert Williams in here. So that's when I just thought of Flora. Also, even if I did, go with that idea still, that would be a whole nother character to introduce. Like I've already introduced some other new characters that are going to show up later, but then that we have to be explaining, well, okay, where does Genie guy go? So that's why I brought in Flora, because we know she's in the series already. So yeah, makes sense that this would be their first meetup. And also I did plan for Brownie to explain about how he met Flora a little bit later. So here we go. So of course, just like in the play, we have it incorporated here, where it's Flora ooh, Hamrod tells those in further Brownie dodging with a heat beam, and then Veron's done and charging in Brownie, but he activates the spacesuit. Oh, it's getting really intense, ladies. Oh, but he's got enough. He's freezing Brownie solid. This doesn't look good. Now they're mocking him. What will he do? Hey. So yeah, it goes pretty much through that, just like from the play and everything. There's like, hey, let's skip dinner and order a nice frozen dessert. Good idea. Make mine a nice big milk chocolate brownie popsicle. So Flora, sort of like the hyenas when they were talking about the line, when they were talking about Simba and Nala, like, hey, we love you to stick around for dinner. Yeah, we can have whatever is lying around. Oh, wait, I got one. Make mine a Cub sandwich. What you think? What is it? Hey, did we order this dinner to go? No. Why? Because there it goes. So yeah, sort of reference to that there. Flora poofs into the audience and whispers like, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot let our hero lose to these clowns, so I'm going to take some action. Poofs to whisper that. While the ice monsters are laughing and making jokes, Flora poofs next to Brownie with a water gun filled with hot water. And hot water and uses it to melt the ice there. And suddenly, Mirage knows it's Steve, but it's she fires an ice blast at Flora, but she quickly dodges it to the side. They and just as she goes after Flora, Brownie's able to burst out of the ice. Caught and yep, and they say, how about a burning hot brownie crunch? And they go at it again. So, and as he ends up using a big heat beam to knock all the ice monsters out. He's like, now it's time for the main event. They to face the Phantom Master before Anna runs out of oxygen. Like, actually, you're going to poof away from here, Brownie tells her. He's like, but I helped you against these ice monsters. I know, and I appreciate that. But I don't want to risk putting someone else in danger. So please, poof back home. But Flora clings to Brownie. Brownie, let me come with you. I was like, you won't be putting me in danger. Ready, please? Okay, but stay close. Yeah, so like, if you see my one of my promo shorts had a with the Jackie Chan theme. That's kind of yeah. So Jade always be like, "But Jackie, stay here." But yeah, she pops up anyway. Yeah. I'm watching season 5 of Jackie Chan, by the way. It's pretty good. It's okay. It's not. I won't say it's as good as the previous seasons. Like season 1's real good. Season 2, wow, because that was the first. Like I say, there was a lot going on in season 2. Wow. Season 3, really good as well. Definitely with the talisman and the living animals. And season 4, I really love season 4 with the Onimas story there. But season 5, it's okay. It's okay. I don't hate it. There, but yeah, it seemed like they're just trying to give the characters something to do, which, like I say again, not a bad thing. It's just okay, that happens. But not. I mean, it's not bad. So it's not bad there. It's some pretty good stuff there. Drago's a good character in that, by the way. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, I do kind of. Yeah, yeah, he's filling his role there. So yeah, think it'll probably get a little better as we keep watching the see to the finale there. Anyway, didn't mean to go into a Jackie Chan review, but yeah. So they go to the Phantom Master's hideout. So originally in the play, Brownie, we didn't have Flora in the play version. Brownie used had the suit project a holographic projection to make him look like the ice monster, which was a reference to something my mom kind of gave me a idea with Brownie meditating to become an ice monster. So in this case, we made it like the suit's hologram. Here, since Flora is present, she so first they have this to say. Okay, so Brownie's like, I know I have to battle the Phantom Master, but I'm worried Anna's oxygen level might run out during the battle. It's like Flora's like, well, no problem. While you fight, I'll get Anna out. Like, okay, but will you be able to get her back to Barnhart City in the Douglas region of Yumeko? Yep. It's like, then she realized, so like, wait a minute, I don't think I've ever been to Yumeko before. Like, well, just tell me, where is your home? Well, where is your home? That you can take Anna there until I finish, and I can come get her. And there's a little something Flora reveals here. I don't know where my home is. All I remember is wandering different places. I'm sorry. So yes, this is a little thing that's revealed. Flora actually doesn't even know where she came from. So yeah, that's gonna be something. That's gonna be something they're gonna have to find out in this series. Where did Flora come from? So we had something like this happen in Heroes of Dreams with Dora, the cat fairy, that Nisha came up with, and made a first book for, and then she went on to other stuff and everything. But in Heroes of Dreams, yeah, there's a scene where where her friends are like, well, there's a Mercurian and then two Fenians from Mercury and the planet Phineas, but Dora was like, I don't know where I came from. So sort of a little reference to that a little bit there. Nice. Okay, so Brownie's kind of a little concerned there. Yeah, a little concerned. So he plays. He said, so he comes up with an idea. He said, I got okay. Can you use your magic to make me appear as one of the ice monsters like Heros? Well, I could. Yeah, I could. So so Flora makes Brownie look like Heros, and he explains the plan. Once they so he goes in as Heros, and he pretends like he's hurt, like boss, boss. Hey, buddy, you're supposed to be looking out for the mayor. Brett, he keeps the act of it. I'm so sorry, Master, but my comrades are under attack on the far side of the planet. They sent me to come get you for help. Do I have to do everything around here? Wait here with the hostage. I'll be back. Yes, yes, boss. Yes, yes, yes. I'll do that. You're the greatest. You're the best. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. I get it. Sort of. Get a little sip of water. Oh, that's better. Two things come to mind. Sorry about this being kind of long there, but there's a lot to talk about here. Um, Two things come to my mind. One, that whole act pretending like he's hurt, sort of like Dinobot from Beast Wars, the clone of Dinobot, not the Transmetal 2 clone, but the one from season one that couldn't transform. Which I have to ask, really, Megatron, you couldn't make the clone able to change the robot mode? You didn't think of that? Not to mention, you made a completely organic clone because of the fact that the real Dinobot eats him? You're disgusting. So, yeah, there was a scene where the clone Dinobot was like, when he came in pretending like he was hurt. The mess. He's trapped. You must go at once if you're to save him. Coordinate 309. So, and also kind of makes me think of Scar when he was pretending like when he had set Simba up with the stampede. Like, oh look, Sire, the herd is on the move. Mufasa, quick, stampede in the gorge. Simba's down there. Simba. So yeah, sort of makes me think of that a little bit there. Um, so so yeah, once the boss leaves there, as soon as the Phantom Master leaves, uh, Lord changes Brownie back to himself, and got and got on his and get himself and got on his shoulder. Yep. Cause she can like an actual fairy, she can shrink there, like Tinkerbell. So Brownie frees Anna as they get to his fire truck spaceship and get her inside. They get her a spacesuit so she can get some oxygen there. Thank you for saving me ever so much. What's your name? Like, I'm Brownie B. Brown. So yep, first time meeting Anna here. Like, Flora gets all the and I'm Flora. Back to her normal size there. And the Phantom Master, I guess he done put two and two together. Like, well, if it isn't a meddling teenager getting in my way trying to be a hero, guess you think you're all that in a bag of hot and spicy pork rinds. Well, you're out of your league, little puppy, and your baby fairy, too. Oh boy. Hey, normally people say, well, you think you're all that in a bag of chips. I decided to be a little creative and say hot and spicy pork rinds. Because yeah, I every now and then I like to eat some I like to eat some hot and spicy pork rinds there. Not it's not an everyday snack, but every now and then I treat myself to one there. It all depends on my mood. They are delicious though. Yeah, I used to eat the barbecue pork rinds. They're still good. Don't get me wrong, but I started eating the hot and spicy ones because they got more of a kick, kicking flavor. So they don't ever call me a little puppy. And I'm not a baby. I'm 4 years old. Well, I will be in September, but I'm still not a baby. Yeah, technically a toddler, but yeah, we get it there. And I guess like Angelica in the Rugrats, I think she's like 3 years old there. A very manipulative 3 years old there, as I saw in the episode where she pretended to break her leg. So when I'm done with you, you're gonna be begging for mercy just like a puppy and a baby. Yeah, and Anna's like, well, why do you want my father's position? Like, that's none of your business, little lady. Now be a good hostage and come back over here and wait for your daddy. But I ain't gonna do that. So so Brownie challenges the Vanna Master. He's like, I'm gonna whoop your rear end so hard you'll be looking like a broken tail light. Ooh. Boy, talk about the trash talk there. So Flora, of course, does the whole announcer thing there. The battle begins, just like the play. They go through it all, and of course, it eventually ends with Brownie winning, of course, there by I think let's see, he noticing the ice monsters come from behind, trying and makes it where the ice monsters and the Vanna Master end up blasting each other. They sending them both flying away from the area there. So we don't know what happened to them, but like I say, bad guys blew each other away. And now we cut to the present day. In this, it is established that at this point here in Yumeko 4, in the present day, it is June 8th, 1996 now, and Brownie is telling this flashback is actually being told from Brownie to Emily. Remember, he already had heard this story and was telling Samuel about it, and we can assume that he actually told Naomi in book 3, and we can assume that the other kids and everything probably that we've met so far know about this as well. So he's telling us. At first, I was going to have Brownie and Emily out at a restaurant, but then I changed it to them being at his house, in his kitchen. Emily's over visiting Brownie. They're both of them are off duty. Um, say off duty and everything. So so they're heating up some ramen noodles for lunch at his house there. We like ramen noodles. um, and he mentioned that after the rescue, he became the city hero. Gerald, Dashdale, Billy, and Francine and him, they all started training with her dad, Mr. Fluffles, of course, to become firefighters after they graduated. Billy didn't quite make the firefighter cut, as Billy mentioned in a short on my channel, but Mr. Fluffles noticed his skills with fixing and inventing things, so Billy became a technician. And by the way, which I'm pretty sure y'all probably know this already, but this is Billy Webster. Not to be confused with Billy Craston from the Power Rangers, even though, yeah, they are both geniuses, but yeah, totally different there. um, so Billy became a technician for the firehouse. Brownie mentioned how Max Stripes gave him his own talk show, say after they graduated, of course. and Mr. Fluffles added another training session beyond fire emergencies. This was for emergencies like the rescue mission on Uranus. And now Emily asks, well, how come I haven't seen Francine yet when I first got here back in book one? So okay, it's June 8th, 1996. I'm going to bring up the calendar from 96 there. Because show you guys this. I'm really buckled down with Keep Up with Date now. Like I say, this is the first time that like the year and stuff like that has been mentioned in this series so far. I hadn't mentioned it in the previous 3 books, but I kept in my mind where everything was going. So that's what. So let's see. But of course, I'm not just going to be like, okay, this book here, this book. I'm not going to just throw the date in your face every chapter or something like that. But only when it's necessary and cohesive with the story. Yeah. So let's see, 1996. So it's a Saturday, June 8th, which is a Saturday. Let's see, because in May we have Memorial Day. Usually be the last Monday of May. So that means that the first book, we're going to say that the first book took place. Let's see, because they mentioned about Hiko's mom doing things in her classroom while Hiko and Samuel were over at Hiko's grandparents' house and in the world of Yumeko. We could also say that she probably, because my mom, and in real life, my mom, when school was out, for not every day, but like right after it first let out, she would kind of get stuff cleaned up out of her classroom for about like a couple of weeks or something like that. Then, as it got close to the time for school, like back to school, she had to go back up there to get things in order for the start of that school year. Yeah, so that's a reference to that. I'm gonna say we're gonna say that it started probably like that either May 30th or 31st, Thursday or Friday. Book number 1 and 2, because they both book 1 and 2 happen within the same day. And seeing as how, well, I'll take that back. 30th or 31st. And book 3, a little time has passed because Samuel had to come up with a superhero costume and a name for himself, and obviously, starting out with his patrol and stuff. So, we're gonna say, let's see, book number 3 takes place. Starts at night with his first patrol. We'll start with his first patrol, and then the next day, where they're telling everybody about it while they have breakfast at Yumeko and spend a little day with Brownie them. And then that evening of that day, the neighborhood watch party. So we're gonna say that because I remember the neighborhood watch. We had a neighborhood block party over here back in 2000. I know I was about to go into my junior year. I want to say I just got out of the 10th grade, so. In 2004, summer of 2004, we had a neighborhood block party here in my neighborhood once, and I think it was on a Tuesday. I remember. So we'll say, that Monday, June the 3rd, that Monday night, Star Striker does his first little patrol after getting his costume together, and then that Tuesday, June the 4th. They have their day in Yumeko. Mom, is in the classroom again. And then that night they have the neighborhood, the little, like I said, neighborhood block party, both in Hiko's neighborhood and in Samuel's neighborhood, introducing the new neighbors, like Naomi, as well as Angela and Monet and Calvin and all them. So that's so So that clarifies our passage of time, and now it's Saturday, June the 8th there. So Brownie mentions that reason why we haven't seen Francine at the beginning of the book. She started a 3-week vacation with Jaleisha and some other friends over in the Duncan region, and they will be back by Father's Day. So we know Father's Day is the third Sunday, always the third Sunday of June. So that's one thing I got to take into consideration. Since the Supreme Star Striker is also connected with Yumeko, yeah, that's yeah, I really got to make sure I'm careful with how and when things happen in the passage of time. So that means the first Supreme Star Striker novel will more than likely take place after the fourth Yumeko book within the week of anywhere between June 9th to June 15th before Father's Day. It may possibly be kind of close to Father's Day because I plan to have a mention of Samuel's father right then there. So yeah, so that might. But I'll think when I get ready to write the Supreme Star Striker first novel. Yeah, I'll help with that. But yeah, they say this Francine will be back around Father's Day. So anywhere probably I would say like that Friday or that Saturday, 14th or the 15th of June. So yeah, probably like, hey Dad, we're back. Happy Father's Day. So yeah. So yeah, like I say, I'm really working with the passage of time here. Um, so there's a funny. I'm gonna give you a little bit more before we close this out. I want to give away too much of the book. Because I'm gonna make some changes, mostly in the last part of this book. So that's why I'm gonna keep these changes for later. I don't want to give away everything. Like EJ say, don't tell everything just yet. I told quite a bit though. I will say that, but yeah, there's still some other stuff. So I'll give you a little bit more. Uh, so like I said, they'll be back by Father's Day from the Duncan region. Uh, Duncan region, by the way, is sort of a kind of country theme, based from my grandmother's father that we call Grandpa Kid because he lived out in the country and everything. And his last name was Duncan there. So my granny's maiden name is Duncan there. Um, so anyway, they get ready to have their noodles. Brown, Brownie adds a few things. He said, hold it for a second, because he had to add a few things to his noodles. He said, well, I can do the same with yours if you like. And Brownie was like, no. So Brownie adds some chili oil, some diced yellow onions and tomatoes and garlic powders, oregano. He sprinkles it on slowly so he doesn't overdo, the ingredients there. So, and this is what was a reference in a short. But in the short, I had Brownie and Emily in human form. That's the only difference. And it showed like Brownie was sprinkling all this stuff on his ramen, and Emily's looking like, yeah, like kind of getting a little irritated there. She's tapping her chopsticks, trying to be patient. And Brownie gets a cucumber. It's like, remember the short where he mentioned how he likes cucumbers. This is actually the first time he tries a cucumber. So it's not in the flashback. It's here in the present. That way, because I was gonna have him try a cucumber back in the flashback, but then it'd be like, well, how come he ain't eating cucumbers currently? So this is the first time he tries a cucumber. Emily's like, you're eating a cucumber with ramen? He's like, yeah, and Brownie's like, well, yeah, my dad told me that it's important to eat my green vegetables, so I thought I'd try a cucumber. That's my dad told me the same thing back when I was either high school or college. There, Gabe, you get some green vegetables in your diet, son. So so this is what led me eventually to having spinach in my Subway sandwiches. and also eating stuff like green bell peppers there. I did try some other green stuff like actual mustard greens. I don't know why my taste just didn't adapt to that there. Then I tried broccoli in a dish from a Chinese restaurant once. Some broccoli and mixed with some rice and chicken, and it didn't work out for me. Man, I just couldn't get that broccoli thing. But like I say, I am crazy about spinach, especially when I go to Subway. That's why I love. That's one of the reasons I really love going to Subway just to get some spinach. That my well, actually, I get wraps now, as you see in another short. But I make sure they put that spinach in it. Sometimes I be like, put a little more spinach in there. So, yeah, along with some other vegetables like green bell pepper, tomatoes. Yep. So, oh yeah, I'm like Papa. I love me spinach. so so anyway, yeah, he puts all that in there. Yeah, he's about to eat the cucumber with it. And it was like, okay, let's just eat. And Brian's like, well, we have to say grace first. I thought that was something we just do at the firehouse. He's like, you always give God thanks and ask him to bless the food. And Emily kind of groans in a low tone as Brownie says grace. Um, so let's see. I think, yeah, I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to stop right there. Well, actually, no. Let me give it just a little bit more. But about the grace thing. So now you're probably like, well, why is Emily upset about them saying grace? Well, there's going to be some more explained about that. But to give you a hint, when me and Christina first met, and she's probably and I'm pretty sure if you've seen the live stream of when we first made it and the extended version, which was the live stream, Christina mentioned in there, and she had been to church, but she never really had got baptized or saved there. And so before she got baptized, when we went on our first date, um, and we actually said grace, and I actually said grace over our food. That was the first. He said that this was. She went with it. Like, okay, but she kind of found this a little strange there at first. There, that was not something she was used to doing there. So this is kind of what I incorporated with Emily. So yeah, Emily, there is a little something about her faith in Christ. But like I say, we're gonna get more details on that later in the series. There's actually gonna be an Emily focused story that will reveal that. But there's actually the details are actually similar to Christina's, story about accepting Christ and stuff like that. But there is a few differences with Emily's story though. A few differences, some similarities and some differences. So you'll find out when we get to that point. But yeah, she's like she just want to eat. Mm. Oh my goodness! That also kind of made me think of. I got to be careful how I say this since it's family friendly. When Tyler Perry Medea, when they said let's say grace, I can be bad by myself. And say okay, as Bobby was saying the grace, Medea was just eating, and then all of a sudden she looked over at this at one of her I'm not sure if it was grandkid or a niece, but May Lee and her soon to be husband Anthony, and she was tapping a fork, and Anthony was just and Medea looked at us like, if you tap that fork one more time, I'm going upside your head. What is you doing? I'm chanting. Well, chant the heck out. Oh boy. Mm. All that I wish I'd known that I upside your head. So, oh boy, yeah, something about there was Buddhism, by the way. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, um, that's back at the firehouse while they're having lunch. All the students are training, Julie and Samuel are kind of they begin sparring on the dojo mat. Um, they start sparring, doing some showing some martial arts move with great sync and timing. And Samuel surprises Julie with a jiu-jitsu to swing her down in a holding position. He say, yeah, so he's like, well, that was impressive. I didn't think you learned that yet. He said, well, I learned a few moves from my dad before he passed away a couple of years ago. So yeah, like I say, Samuel's so so that means let's see, this is 1996. So 1994, Samuel's dad passed away. Um, and I think I'm just gonna say before his dad. I'm okay. I'm gonna take out the part of a couple of years ago because I'm kind of debating on when his dad passed. To be honest, that's why. Yeah, that's another real. So that's a little change I'm making before my dad passed away. So I'm just gonna say that. I'm not gonna say how long ago it was. So that way that can be kind of left open because I'm actually think since Samuel and Hiko met each other when they were in kindergarten, I'm actually gonna say that his dad probably passed away around when he was like 4. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I might now maybe different when I come up when I because it's actually gonna be mentioned in the first Supreme Star Striker novel. But you'll find out a confirmation then. Now, but so I'm just taking that out for now, so we can leave that open. That's another advantage of not telling every single detail. That way you can leave stuff open for other things there. So yeah, that's one good advice from BJ, by the way. So yeah, before his dad passed away, and also because when I first met EJ in real life, um, yeah, I never had seen his dad or anything like that. Pretty much the same on my end there. Of course, my mom remarried when I got to high school, but our biological dads, yeah, yeah, that's a whole other story there. So so yeah, obviously neither one of us had seen the other's biological dad. So yeah, but like yeah, I kind of get you, Gabe. Yeah, pretty much similar. So both of us have single moms for a while there. Yeah, before just like my mom, his mom also remarried around the same time that my mom remarried there. So anyway, there was that. So he said before his dad passed away. Um, and Julie mentions about that her and her brother Tim, their parents uh, passed away as well. That's why I'm taking that. Now I do have something I do pretty much have planned, but I'm going to leave that open on Julie's end too. My parents passed away as well, so that's why I said I'm taking out the passage of time so I can leave it open when I come to a certain point, and I'll confirm it there. They passed away as well. They, said, I bet they, well, I bet your dad and your parents would be more impressed than we are. Sure they would there. But then Hiko mentions something that's going to be a little foreshadowing too. He says, "Well, I know my mom is impressed with me, but I don't know if my dad would." And Mr. Fluff was like, "Well, don't doubt yourself, Hiko. The more you practice, the more better you'll become." He's like, "Yeah, yeah." He's like, "Yeah." And Tim's like, "Well, believe me, it took a lot of practice to get. Well, it took me a lot of practice to get the basics there." He's like, but Hiko says, I know I'll get better, but it's just that I've never seen my dad. He's like, when I asked my mom about him, when I asked my mom about him, she got sad and said it was best that I don't know. So now, I'll never know what he would think of me. So that's a little bit of a foreshadowing there to something that'll happen later. Finding out about Hiko's dad, almost similar to Dewey finding out about his mother in DuckTales there. Yep. So I ain't gonna tell you what that is, but we will get to it. We'll get to that there. So yeah, it's I will say it's pretty dark though. But yeah, we'll get to it as well as also, other revelations there. uh and let's see, let's see, make a little information there. Okay, so yeah, so that's as far as I'm going to go. So there is, yeah, there is more. There's actually a finale that leads to something pretty big in the last few chapters of the book. So yeah, I'm not going to spoil the finale for you right now. Yeah, that's what we're going to stop it right there. Like I say, leave you wanting more, but we will have more updates, and like I say, the book will come out no later. My plan is no later than May. That way, hopefully, I can get the Supreme Star Striker out during the summer. If I'm fortunate, uh, for Supreme Star Striker might possibly if it comes out no later than August, if I'm fortunate, I could possibly have some copies by the time GeekCon comes around again. We're kind of working on something with GeekCon. We're working on something. Excuse me. So yeah, we'll have more data on that as we get closer to it, though. But we're trying to work something out here. So, but I know Yumeko 4 will be out by the end, though. So yeah, May, no later than May. So that is all I got there, and I gotta get so. Let's say I'm gonna make a few other little corrections before I shut my computer down, and I gotta get some other stuff taken care of there. Some other business matters outside of this. So, um, yeah, so I'll be taking. So yeah, as soon as I finish a few things here, I'll be doing that, and that's it. With this for you guys and this live stream, and I will still be back here tomorrow. Got something special planned for tomorrow's live stream that, as well as also, we got this Saturday and then one more Saturday in February, the 28th, I think it is. So for the last two Saturdays, I do got something special planned for the live stream on those Saturdays. You'll find out when I come on here Saturday. And for Sunday, we will be doing our Bible reading there, and then make sure to definitely do a lot better than last Sunday. So, till then, as well as also more content. Oh yeah. So for now, we'll be seeing you guys later. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. Get our available books that we have, including the first Bubblina novel that's available. Uh, yeah, I got to double check the site so I can give you guys that way, because I know you're probably gonna wonder, well, how much is the first Bubblina novel? So I will. I'm gonna double check after I sign off, so that way when you ask me that, I'll be able to answer the question, as well as also put it out there. And definitely support us on Patreon. Yep, give us also support just like the Iceman Universe. Check out his stuff, like Hey Arnold, and Eddie, Courage, Naruto, Spy Family, and One Piece. And also get an early viewing of part one of Power Rangers Sierra Force review. The review of it, part one of the review. You get a very early review because, like I say, like I say, I'm not telling you when I'm dropping it to YouTube, so get your early viewing of part one. And after the 22nd, we will have a date planned to get to record part two of the review with EJ, and possibly, if they can, Janara and Casey, if they can. But we definitely plan to have we definitely are intending to have EJ. So we'll have that, and it will be up on Patreon first before coming to YouTube as well, along with some behind the scenes of yeah, EJ telling about the play, and what he can tell us about it there, so yeah, and a few other and some other content as well. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that coming up. Like I say, definitely sign up on that Patreon so you get some early viewings of, like I say, part one and the other stuff when it drops there. So yeah, do that. And also support the Miracle Crew. Yours truly, King Gabe, Queen Tina, Big Sis Casey, Janara Nelson, and EJ the Supreme. And like you say, also just like you hang out with us on these live streams, also hang out with us on Discord and on Facebook. And be sure to sell us. We sell each other some stuff on the Macari app. I got an item I need to put in the Macari app. If I can sit down and get a picture of it. Yeah, I should have had this up earlier, but yeah, I'm gonna try to get this item up. If you go to the Macari app, download it, everything, and go to my page. When I put it up, you will see it. So yeah, do that. And without further ado, we will see y'all in the next video. Y'all take care, everybody. Peace out.